So there I am, on me travels once again. Only this time I'll be taking the trip by myself, as I'm leaving Thailand to head on back to Ireland to make some money. I decided this time to travel by boat and overnight train, which set me back 1,750 baht. This price includes everything except for the pickup at your hotel, so I had to make my way to the booking office in Lamai, Koh Samui to be collected and brought to the ferry port. The boat left the island at 1:30 PM, and as you can see, the outside area was pretty crowded with all them travellers catching their last piece of island sun. I wasn't having any of that, so I made my way inside to the air-conditioned seating area where you can grab some food like a sandwich, Pringles, pot noodles or a drink and watch a movie. On this occasion, they were showing the recent remake of the 90s surfer/bank robber classic Point Break. I remember when I first saw the ad for this, I thought, no way man, it's a classic. No need for a remake, just leave it as it is. So instead I just looked out the window and said goodbye to Koh Samui and then sat back and caught some Zeds. We had reached the mainland in under 2 hours, and here I was directed onto a bus that would take me to the Suratani train station. This leg of the journey took the best part of an hour. Another nice opportunity to just stick on the headphones, take in the lovely scenery and watch the miles go by. The bus dropped me right off next to this little street food restaurant. Perfect. But before I would eat, I needed to go to the bathroom to take a whiz. The street food lady told me they had no bathroom and directed me to a lane at the back of a restaurant. I was all for it until I saw who would be joining me. No thanks, I think I'll hold it in. But the food was okay. That Indian curry with rice and a water for 130 baht. I certainly couldn't complain about that. Happy days. After my food, I made my way across the street to the train station. It was just then, as I looked around at Suratani in motion, I was reminded of the last time I was here. Not too long ago, when me and Jenny were bringing Boss, our new little pooch, back to his new home. This was the moment when I had really begun to miss them already. So anyways, I got to the train station where I was greeted by this kind gentleman who informed me exactly what time my train would arrive and what platform I was to go to. I still had another hour to kill. It's just as well I always have something good to read. So this pulls out for here. I'm just gonna sit down for now. So this is my cabin where I'm going to be staying for the night. It looks like at the moment that I'll be here by myself. Suits me grand, I don't mind. the guy, the ticket conductor came in, checked the ticket. I thought I might have been in the wrong place, but no, all is good. I came to the right place. Just before he came, a lady came with a menu for some food, and I told her I wasn't hungry. She said, you can order now and I'll bring it to you in about 2 hours. I said, yeah, that's grand. That'll suit me grand, yeah. And she's bringing roast duck in red curry and a Coke. So, a nice little nibble, you know, to settle me off to bed for the night on the train. I actually don't mind sleeping on these things. It says on my ticket that I'm on the upper deck, you know, on the top bunk. What usually happens on these trains is some guy comes around before everyone goes to sleep, you know, around 9 or 10 o'clock, and sets up all the bunks, puts on bed sheets and gives blankets and everything, like. So I'll be interested to see if he comes along and sets up my bunk. But you never know, maybe someone bought a ticket for the bottom bunk, you know, who's getting on at a later stop, so you never know. But either way, I don't mind. I'll still sleep on the top bunk. I have no trouble sleeping on top. It's only if I have to get up and go to the toilet. You'd be contemplating it for a while. Should I get up or I just hold it in? And then you'd be bursting and you're just thinking about having to climb down and then go to the toilet and then climb back up. It's a nightmare. But I'm a very heavy sleeper. I'd sleep through a war, I would. It takes a lot to wake me up, it does. You know, not so bad when I'm sober, but if I've had drink on me, like, you know, oh god, I'm a nightmare. What happened before, right, a few years ago, one of my mates got married over in Spain, and loads of us went over to the wedding, you know, and I'd only intended in staying the weekend, you know, going to the wedding, staying the next day and then going home. But a lot of my friends, like, had rented apartments to stay for like a week, and once I got there, like, I didn't want to leave, you know, so I ended up changing my flight and staying. And then a couple of my mates who rented this apartment, they said I could just jump in with them and just sleep on the couch, you know. So I got my flight changed, stayed on, it was great. Then one of the nights during the week, we were out drinking in the little, like, you know, nightlife complex area, like, you know, in the centre. We were on the Long Island iced teas, and by about 12 o'clock or something like that, I'd reached the end of my tether. I was wrecked. You know, I'd been drinking the last previous nights as well. I said to me mates, here, listen, can I have the key? I need to go home. I'm wrecked. I'm done and dusted. Said yeah, they gave me the key. They said, make sure you can let us in now when we come home. I says, yeah, grand, just ring on the buzzer, you know. So I went up to the room and fell asleep on the couch. Now, it was one of these apartment complexes where there was a main door outside and they had to ring an intercom, you know, and I had to buzz them up, and then they'd have to, like, walk through like a little court and then come up to their front door, you know. But, you know, as soon as I went home, I was dead to the world. And at about 2:30, 3 o'clock, when their night was over and they decided to come home, they were ringing on the intercom outside on the main road, and I just couldn't hear it. No answer. I was just gone, you know, out of it. Dead to the world. And they were ringing and ringing, kept pressing the buzzer, you know, the buzzer was going like crazy. I just couldn't hear it. They even jumped the wall into the pool where the pool is, and they were shouting up at the window and everything. Nothing happening. So they were out on the main road all night, and it was getting bright. It was in the summer and all it was, you know. I think it was about 6:30 in the morning. Somebody who lived there was going to work that morning. They were, like, leaving, and when that person was leaving, they were able to go through the main door. And then they got into the main complex. So they start banging on the front door of the apartment, and I was just right on the other side, you know. When you walk through the front door, there's a little kitchenette, and after the kitchenette is the couch, and I was asleep on the couch, and they were banging the door down, shouting and all, like, you know, open the door. Couldn't hear them, And then about 8:30, I heard roaring, Hendy! Oh, I don't think you know, that's my nickname back home, Hendy. The door is banging. So I woke up, I goes, oh, what's with all that banging? And I opened the door, and I was, you alright? My mate just goes, you're a fucking wanker. He just walked right past me. And then I looked around, and my other mate was like on his back, fast asleep on the ground. And I was waking up, I said, Paddy, wake up, will you? You alright? You okay? I thought like, something might have happened, he might have got hurt or something. And he woke up and he just went, you're a fucking muppet, you are. Oh, Jesus Christ, what did I do? He just walked on past me, you know. So I went back into the apartment and fell asleep on the couch again. And I was in bits. I didn't wake up till about 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And one of my mates came in to me and he says, the rest of them are down on the beach, do you want to go? And I says, yeah, okay, yeah. So we're walking down to the beach. My mate goes to me, the one that was asleep on his back outside, he says, I'm a bit pissed off with you. And I says, why? What did I do? And I was thinking to myself, oh geez, I didn't say something to him last night, did I, when I was drunk, you know? I might have said something silly, like, you know, and really offended him. I was really like, starting to shit myself for a while. Like, what happened? I says, we were banging on the door since 2:30 in the morning. We ended up staying out on the main road till about 6:30. And then we were banging on the door for another 2 hours, the front main door of the apartment for another 2 hours, you still wouldn't answer. We slept rough last night because of you. And we're at the paying for that apartment and you just jumped in for free. It's not on. I was like thinking, oh sorry, but like at the same time it was kind of funny. So the guy came into the cabin and set up the bunks. Here's what they look like. Top bunk it is for me, because he said the guy who bought the ticket for the bottom bunk is getting on at the next station. So I'm on the top. Look, my little ladder and everything. So my food should be coming in a few minutes, and once I finish eating that, I'm just gonna relax, probably read my book for a bit, and then just lie on my back and nod off, you know. I'll just, you know, close my eyes and just think about the last couple of months and everything that's happened and all the memories that were created. You know, I always do that when I'm leaving Koh Samui. So much always happens. You know, I always feel real sentimental. And it's like that until I go all the way back to Dublin, you know. Just, it's like there's a part of me missing or something like that, you know. But you know, these are the things you have to do when you're on the road. You know, everything comes to an end at some stage, and it's just back to the life of eating, working, sleeping, waking up, repeating over and over again, watching that bank balance build up. So this is where I'll be crashing for the night anyway, and then it's Bangkok, baby. Still have to figure out where I'm gonna be staying there in Bangkok. I'm just gonna sort that out in the morning when I have my coffee in the train station. Alright folks, have a good night, okay?